And we are live. So obviously we got Nikki Ciminowasielewski with us this week. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Wow, that's funny.
Amazing.
So yeah, we had the Slugfest last weekend, and thanks for coming on. Nikki, somebody I respect a whole lot, and I think very highly of. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Obviously, we had some controversy last weekend, but we'll save that for a little bit later. Slugfest, I think you just told me you had 60 men's teams, about 11 co-ed, 11 women. Was that right?
15 co-ed and 10 women. Yep.
15 co-ed. So great turnout, 3 parks busy pretty much all weekend. I know I had a great time. Do you have any comments on how things went?
I think they went well. I'm a little bit biased. I think I have one of the best bracketers in the world in my association here. I have it through my son. So he does a great job of making me feel at ease because I know that it's going to be quickly and dynamic. Backing me up, Ryan.
I put him on mute for a second.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, but I think everything went pretty well. I mean, there was hiccups here and there, but when isn't there? As you can tell, I lost my voice, but when you're going on 60 years old and you do 18 hours a day, this happens. It was a long weekend, but a great weekend. Beautiful weather, great softball.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you can't tell, Ryan's at the UC baseball game. You're unmuted now.
Yeah. So, Nikki, I just wanted to say, how many years in a row have you ran this Slugfest tournament?
9.
9 straight years. It's always one of my favorite tournaments to play in. It's like, again, you get a chance for these lower teams to play upper teams, and you have nothing to lose when you play them. So it's always a good time to see where you're at and things like that.
You either love it or you hate it. And the format has changed. In 2020, we had a lot of the teams complaining about the being able to forfeit and cause other teams to ultimately do things that they would have never done if we just played the game straight up. So Bradney did some adjusting, and starting 2021, we put in the rule that you couldn't forfeit anymore. Now, while we were going through this, even before we had the mishap this weekend, several teams had come to Brad and said they didn't like that they couldn't forfeit and get to where they needed to go for several reasons. And Bradney had a couple ideas to adjust that and had called me and told me maybe it's time that we reformat it and see. Now, so even when we reformat it, there's going to be teams that don't like it that way. But I mean, we're never closed-minded. We're always open for suggestion. And that was the reason for the change in the first place. So, and like I said, and he probably would be one when he's on here with you to talk about how he has a couple of different ideas for changing the Slugfest. And we may or we may not. We might just leave it the same.
Now, so I don't think it matters what you do. People are always going to find loopholes and ways to get around things. I mean, that's just the way it is. You got to adapt and adjust. And I think you and Brandy do a great job of doing that. So
thank you. I appreciate that.
I would say 99% of the people appreciate everything you do. So just keep that in mind, because I know I love you and the family to death. So
I appreciate that. We feel the same about you.
Was there any big upsets? I remember Steve's BP beat SMU. Was there?
They did by 1.
By 1.
And I mean, this is just me thinking out loud. So if we really needed the forfeit and we needed to get to that D, why not tank that game? It's 1 run. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm trying to keep it real. And if I'm Ryan and I need to go to D, then I'm tanking that game that's so close to that C team that he should have lost to in the first place.
Yeah, and then I think the 8s had a big win too, didn't they?
They did, and they finished as the highest finishing lower team in the upper division. Took the cash. Much respect to them. They played great all day with some good softball.
Yeah, congrats to the 8s. They're always a scrappy bunch. I know a couple guys on their team, and they'll never lay down for anybody. So big props to them for stepping up and making it through that bracket.
You can probably tell me if this is possible or not, but a couple of people asked me this. Could you do the Slugfest started on Friday night, play it Saturday, so it opens Friday, Saturday, and then the E and D are on Sunday? Would that be possible? maybe resolve some of these issues?
I don't know about the D and E all on Sunday, depending if we had all 3 parks, if we cancel leagues on Fridays and Sundays. It definitely is a possibility. I wouldn't be opposed to looking at it, but that's more a Bradney schedule question than it is a me question.
Yeah, we need to get him on here sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure he would.
Okay, good. So, all right. Do you want to go through this bracket real quick, and then we'll get to the controversy?
Sure.
All right. Oh, how do I always forget? Share screen. Oh, there it goes. All right. So just looking through this, I know we had the big upset with the 8s. Who did the 8s beat? I can't. Was it Doug's team, Running Rebels?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, let's see if I can find that. Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but and then we had obviously Steve's BP beating SMU, and I'm on the E. That's why. Okay. Man, what a major bracket this is.
It is.
And yeah, great job to Bradney. Yep. Okay. This is too much for me to go through. Days made a nice run.
They did. I talked to him yesterday, and he told me you need 20 guys to play the Slugfest. He said the best team's not winning. The team with the most stamina is winning.
Yeah, I actually had Pizza. He dropped. Since we kind of made a decent run, I'll kind of give a rundown of ours. Is we were playing Tiger Fitness, and we were up 25 runs or so. And I told those guys, like, you're going to need 40 to win. They're like, what? We're up 25. I said, no, it's late. And those guys hit it. So and I think we ended up winning. I won't guess. I'll look. But it was like 41 to 32. Is it on there? Yeah, I have to go there. Oh, yeah. 41-35. I don't want to short him. I don't want Curry on me again. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and Pizza ended up just falling over from fatigue in the outfield, and I had to pull him. And I was even rotating pitchers all day. I was rotating outfielders all day, and still, man, it was
it's a big undertaking. It's a lot of games.
I think we had 8 games total, if I remember right. I think we went 6-2 on the day. So that's a lot of softball in one day. So He's not wrong. Tiger Fitness had a good run. I heard they lost the tiebreaker. Rhino, did you hear about that?
I did not hear anything about that.
So hopefully I get the story right. I think there was a man first and second, no outs. They were down 1, bottom of the 7th, I believe, and then they came in and hit triple play to lose the game to the Amish team. So
triple play.
I also heard that. I did. Their coach came in, right?
Bordeaux was the one I believe that came in, but anybody coming off the bench, that's a tough spot to be in. So
it is,
especially with those guys that play defense like that. So yeah, and then we played them, and they hit like 20 nukes in a row. Jared Lee called time. I walk out there, his eyes are this big, and I said, "Dude, there's nothing you can do. You're just gonna have to keep pitching it. At some point, they'll get out," and they did, but we had no answer for them. So yep. All right. So I guess we'll get to the topic everybody wants to talk about. So there was a forfeit, and I don't want to mix up the details, so maybe I'll just go ahead and let you explain what happened, and then we'll go from there.
Bradney was at East, I was at West, and the forfeit happened at MAB, where Joey Peak was the manager for the day. Some people had come to Bradney at East. I guess they were, after finishing at MAB, they went to East, so went to Bradney, told him that there was a forfeit and that they thought that if you forfeited, you were out of the tournament or you took last. Bradney assured them that is the case, but that he did not receive a card as a forfeit. None of the scores showed a forfeit. They told him it was Steve's BP and EOS, I believe. And he verified, he called Joey Peak, which is exactly what he should have done. He called Joey Peak and asked him to pull the scorecard and tell him the score of the game. Joey said he was aware of what scorecard it was and that the score was 7-4. Rodney asked him to verify that the game was played in its entirety. And he said, the umpire said the game was played in its entirety. He said he was upstairs helping the bartender. He was by himself. He had to bat test and help bartend and do the scores. And to the best of his knowledge, it was a game. We didn't have any reason to say otherwise. But then on Sunday, so as you can see, Steve's BP went on to win, and no one thought anything of it until Sunday, where I received numerous texts, and Facebook messages telling me that the game had not been played and that my staff had lied. So I investigated it further. I myself called Joey Peak. I was told the same thing, that the game played in its entirety and that he was secure with the 7-4 score. I did question that score. That is an awful low score for that type of team. And so I asked him if he had seen the game, if they were tanking the game, if it was a travesty of the game, any of those type of things. He said he did not see the game. I asked for him to give me the umpire that was on the field. He did. I called the umpire on the field, and he assured me that the game had played in its entirety. Oh. So at that point, that's all we could do. Monday night, Slim returned from Vieira, and I asked him, since I was still receiving so many calls, to give the umpire a call with me and to see if he could get a better idea of why or how this happens and why people are saying. He did, and at the beginning of the conversation, Slim was told the exact same thing I was, that the game played in its entirety and it was 7-4. After questioning the umpire, inning for inning, play by play, it came out in the very end that they took the field. The coaches came up and told the umpire to put the 7-4 score, and he did.
Oh, okay. That's pretty deep. Got anything there, Ryan? I'm pretty speechless.
Yeah. So what gets me, and I've been thinking about this a lot, it's not the fact that they forfeited that bothers me, because I can understand wanting to play in your own division. It's the length that they went for the cover-up is Correct. What is mind-boggling. And it's like you had to have so many people involved in doing that. It's I don't know. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, there's nothing we could have done to them if they would have taken the field and played a crappy game and let things go between their legs and whatever else. But they had to play the game. That's the rule. They had to play the game.
So did that umpire receive anything was he bribed, or did he just do it on his own and said, all right, I'm doing it?
I have no idea.
It's crazy.
I don't see any reason to do it, period.
Right.
I mean, he had nothing to gain from that. I don't know.
Okay. And because of this, according to your post, Steve's was then stripped of first place. They had to return the money, and then they were awarded last place points. And that was essentially the punishment, correct?
Correct. We had spoke in length on what the punishment could be. Some of the people in the softball community that, we all talk about this, we all get together and meet, thought that there should be more of a punishment. But I personally feel like this is what happened. They cheated in this tournament. They pay the price for this tournament, and then we move on. If you use an illegal player or somebody that's not your roster and you have to be forfeited out of the tournament, it's the same thing. You don't get a punishment beyond that. And who's to say what the punishment should be or who should hand it out? Maybe I don't like you and it's going to be 5 games. Maybe I really like you and it's going to be nothing. So I never like to put myself in that judgment position. I'm a very big book rule, black, white.
Okay. I'll put you the big screen. Yeah, that's tough. It's kind of a victimless crime in a lot of ways, but rules are rules. So it's tough. What you do, and I think you handled it correctly. I don't know. There's a better way you could have done it.
I appreciate that. It wasn't easy. It never is.
Yeah, I don't know how you would go about suspending people because you never know whether it was just the coach that was involved. You don't know whether the player said this is not right, we want to play, and the coach said you're not playing. I mean, you have no idea what exactly transpired other than the game didn't get played. So
Correct.
I don't know how you can suspend people when really nobody knows exactly what happened. So.
I agree.
All righty. Anything else on that before we move on? I think that pretty much covers
Unless
it all.
you guys have questions about it.
I think that is what it is. But overall, great tournament.
Thank you.
I think we're going to talk some Ironman and Weekender. So you're welcome to stay on, but you're also welcome to jump off too.
I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I got some work to do. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming on.
All right.
Thanks
Appreciate you guys.
Take it easy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. All right. That's wow, that's incredible. But I think she handled it the best she could.
Yeah, I mean, she was put in a bad situation. I don't know what else could you do. I mean, I'm sure she didn't want to take money away from him and things like that, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yep. All right. So what do you want to do? We do Ironman, Weekender. What do you want to get into?
Well, I want to tell you a little bit about. I got a question for you, man.
All right.
How do you feel about the umpire telling you to stay in the dugout? Is that a rule or is that a umpire thing? What's the deal with that?
I believe that's a mandate from Slim. I'm not sure if it's an official rule or not, but I hate being in the dugout myself. So I'm not for it. I don't see a big deal, but I get that some teams get a little rowdy outside the dugout. So I don't know. I don't have a good answer. I try to do my best with it, but I always end up wandering out. So I'm the biggest perp as far as that goes.
Yeah, I always get aggravated with it, especially when an umpire is going to let you cuss him up and down and not do anything. But yet if he sees two people out of the dugout and he wants to make a comment about it, I think there's bigger things in the game to worry about other than whether there's three people standing outside the dugout or not.
Are you ready?
And then, we blew a 17-run lead, man, on Saturday night, which was a lot of fun. In our ninth game of the day. So, but I was proud of my guys with the way they fought and battled all weekend long. Luckily we didn't run into any Amish teams like you, but we played some good teams all weekend.
Oh God! So you guys played 9 on Saturday?
Yeah, we went 2-1 in the big bracket, lost to Steve's C team by 2. I had a chance to. I came up with 2 outs, first and second, in the bottom of the 7th, and pissed down my leg, man. Hit a little dribble to second base. Tag on Josh Benjamin. I should have hit the first pitch. I let him get me in a hole. So shame on you, Josh.
Yeah, you got to jump on Josh early.
Yeah.
I know.
But yeah, then we played 6 games in the D. So it's a long day, man.
Yeah, we played 8, and then I don't know if we could have played 9. Let's see.
You say Creekers won the E, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations to them. I apologize for not getting the weekly honor roll going this week, but I didn't know if this was actually going to happen tonight or not. So
right.
We'll get back on it next week.
Okay. All right, we'll do the Ironman real quick, and then I'll try to find the Weekender. I probably should have pulled it up beforehand. Ironman, I believe it's a 7-game. Is it?
Yeah, I know it's 7-game guarantee with possibly more, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. So they got 10 teams in the rec division. I'm going to go with playmakers there. That'd be my guess, but I'm not real familiar with all these teams. And then the men's E has 22 teams. Are you guys playing in this?
We are not. We're not playing any WSL.
Okay.
Which is kind of disappointing to me, but we got a pretty heavy schedule, so they just figured we'd just take the WSL stuff off and kind of even it out a little bit.
Blue, you're my boy!
But yeah, they're Blue, you're my boy.
Blue, you're my boy.
In the E, I'm gonna pick the Natty Redlegs to come out and play well and win this weekend?
I'll go with the Eights. They have themselves as a WSL team. And that's kind of their home park. So I'll go with the Eights. Heat. Oh, they moved back to E. Yeah, they could have a good shot at it. The rest of these teams I'm not as familiar with. Rip City, they used to have a pretty strong E team. I'm not sure if those are the same guys or not. And then the D, it looks like there's only 2 teams on there now. I think Bill told me he had another one, so I'm not sure how he's going to work that out, but he told me we're going to play.
Who all's in there with you? Is it Huey Design or is it somebody else?
No, I got to defend my title here. It's always a fun tournament. There was more teams last year in the D, so right now it's Mo. I think he said Hooks might be playing. There was 5 or 6 teams earlier in the week, so if you dropped, I don't know what happened there. So it's always a good time. Where are you guys playing at this weekend?
We're taking a weekend off. We were going to try to get a throw together team in the Ironman and try to sanction and go down to Panama, but after playing 9 games last weekend, we probably thought that we should rest this weekend and gear up for playing in some Columbus, Indiana tournament in 2 weeks.
I'm loving the music in the background.
Yeah, this walk-up music's killing me, man.
I remember baseball used to just walk up and hit back in the day.
Everybody's a prima donna now, man. You gotta get your hype music up.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the bracket for this damn thing. I can't find it, but I know Tiger Fitness is up there, and I'm sure a few of the other C teams are up there. So good luck to them. Is this it? Here we are. Here we go. Is it showing? Okay. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. I think we'd have Jordan Talon coming on later, assuming he gets out of golf on time.
Yeah, he said he was going to be pushing it at 7:45 if we're still on.
Okay. I don't know if we can make it that long, but we'll give her hell. And we're figures back in the E. They got to be the favorites, I would think. Hornets, who just beat the hell out of us. That'd be a good one as well.
How did that Van Wert team do down in Florida?
In the duel?
Yeah.
I think they went 1-2 the first tournament. The second tournament, I'm not sure how it went, but I'm guessing it's probably somewhere similar. Extreme. Influence, Super Friends. There's Tiger Fitness. Okay, it just looks like just the one team. Yep. One Cincy team in the C. Good luck to my guy Bordeaux and the Tiger Fitness crew. Okay, this another Tiger Fitness is in the D. That's Red and the boys. Good luck to them.
Yeah, I know Red said they were going up there, so hopefully they can make a good run.
Yeah, they had a good run last weekend, didn't they?
I think they were off last weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chucky John just messaged me and said there's 3 teams in your C.
Okay, that'll work.
So I guess the Hooks got in.
Hooks got in.
The right fielder, number 5, Devin Taylor.
No, okay, there we go. No, that's a Hooks. All right, we'll be there. Let's see. Who else we got? Who else is in the lead?
What's is it supposed to rain this weekend up
Hell
there?
yeah, it is. It's supposed to be nice every day of a Saturday, I think.
Figures.
Yep, you know how it goes. Cincinnati weather.
Wouldn't be Columbus. Yeah, wouldn't be Columbus and Cincinnati without rain and wind.
Let's see what we got here. Jordan just messaged me. Let's see what he's got going. And then he says 7:45. I don't know that we can make it that long with me just mumbling about what teams are in this bracket. But we'll try.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't come on this week, we can have him on next week. I know he kind of wanted to explain the situation and things like that. So.
Congratulations, Chad.
Sounds good. All righty. Yeah, I don't see any other D teams. Sorry if I missed you. And then we'll try to track over to the E. And then we can talk about these power rankings. That'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah, I saw that post this morning. I'm a little concerned where my team is, man. We're gonna end up getting Tiger Fitness and bump without winning the tournament.
Yeah, I don't see any of these E teams. I always encourage teams to try playing Columbus, a few times, because when you go to Worlds, you're playing on turf at least just about anymore. So it's always worthwhile playing on turf. Everybody says turf's easy, but I've seen a lot of errors on turf just from just not being used to it. All right, let's.
I definitely prefer turf in the infield, but the ball gets on you a little quicker, but it's not going to take a bad hop on you. So.
Right. All right, let me text Talon here. He said 7:45, maybe a little bit earlier. So we'll try. It's only a few minutes. So let's go to these power rankings and discuss those, and then hopefully about then Jordan be ready. I tried to get Tommy on to talk about the duel, but I don't know.
What do you think about the Suncoast, man? What do you think's going to happen?
So I saw there was another letter out today, and it's always lengthy. So what's the latest on that?
So last I heard was they hope to resume testing in 2 weeks to see if they can get it unbanned or not. But I know they just banned the fast pitch softball bats too. After my daughter's team signed an exclusive bat deal with Suncoast, they banned them the next day.
All right. Yeah, that's so crazy, man. Either they're good or they're not. Let's see. Queen City softball. All right. Here we go. Oh, I made it super small. Let's see if I can. All right. E. Let's start with the E. Eights are killing it with their 17th year in E or whatever it is. And then Apex having a good start. Always a ton of good young talent there. Chris Gaddy always finds talent. It's good to see them have a nice run.
Yeah, congrats to Apex on a good run last weekend. I think they finished second.
Yep. TCS, don't know them. Sorry, I'm sure you guys are a fine team. I'll try to get out and see you guys. Franchise, it's the same team. You see Jordan texting.
I think that TCS team is some guys from that True Arts Design team from last year.
Okay.
So yeah, they're having a pretty good year.
Franchise been around for a while, right? Been around for a
Yes.
while. I've been seeing the Metro. Have Cancer, not familiar. All right, and then we move up to the men's D. Steve's BP on top, not a big surprise there. Odd Socks, not a major surprise. Tripods bumped up from E.
So what's keeping us afloat, man, is we tend to run through the losers brackets. We can win about 4 or 5 games in the losers bracket, and then we just run out of gas.
So you guys are loser bracket heroes?
Well, it's pretty much what it is, man. We like to lose early and play all day.
Lose early and play all day. Yep, we've been doing the same thing. BOTC. Oh, Miss Tiger Fitness. Tiger Fitness, Red and the Boys, always solid, always a tough out. No surprise there. BOTC, got a bunch of talent there.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a sleeper team, man. They've got, Josh Boland makes any team 100 times better. He's that good of a player. You got Noah Stolze at shortstop, and here comes the clap your hands for the Bearcats down 7-0. But so yeah, they got the BOTC's got some young outfielders, man, that are 20, 21 years old. They're going to be pretty good.
Message from Ryan Schmidt here. Can you see this? Okay. So this is the loser bracket final games. Flies versus Tiger Fitness. So my team had 65 at bats, 41 runs, 47 hits, only 3 walks, and a strikeout. I guess Noah probably fouled out. I don't remember him. I remember him swinging and missing, but I don't remember him completely striking out. Man, yeah. Matt was 5 for 5 with a walk. Let's see, Isles. Yeah, Isles started the game. Jared came in and relieved him. Drew, 4 for 5. Rickson, 6 for 6. Hit over 800 on the day.
He's a very underrated player.
He really is. I forget the exact number because I think it was quite a bit over 800. And you know me, I don't fudge the numbers. It was legit. B. Solly, 6 for 7. Pizza, 5 for 6 with the walk. Sammy Law, you know, he always hits it, 5 for 7. Lightsey, 3 for 6, and then Colin was 5 for 6. Then you go over to the other side. Nick Burris, 5 for 6. Leichman, 5 for 5. Burton, 2 for 5. Blevins, 3 for 6. Jameson, 5 for 6. Steigers, 3 for 4. Patterson, 4 for 5. He was playing on a sprained ankle. Hoskins came in and run for him and eventually stayed in the game with a double reentry. He went up for 1. Pomfrey, 3 for 5. Brian Schmidt, how about that? 4 for 5. Sanders, 4 for 6. And then Blake Paul, 4 for 6. So 42 hits on 60 at bats, 35 runs. That was a marathon.
How long did that game take to play?
What's that?
I said, how many hours did that game take to play?
2.5 hours.
Shoot.
And then the whole time, the Amish guys are sitting behind me, just pounding heaters, asking when we're going to be done. I'm like, don't worry, boys, we'll get us here in a second.
Did the Hornets have old Jebediah back with them?
I'm sure. I don't know.
So he's their coach. He's got the bowl haircut like the dude from Kingpin.
Yeah.
Looks just like him.
Yep. He was there.
He was their best player last year.
Oh, yeah. He wasn't even playing. But, yeah, I've heard he's really good. All right. So, did we complete the D? I think we did. Then on to the C. SMU overtook us for number 1. Curry disagrees. I don't know. I haven't really looked, but they do have a really good team, and that doesn't shock me. Us number 2. We've been loser bracket heroes too, so that's kind of pumping up our rating a little bit. Steve's VP had an off weekend, so they I don't think they really dropped. Running Rebels. I think this was their first time playing U-Trip or GSL. I might be wrong. Had a nice little showing, and then Tiger Fitness is obviously tough. They finished 3rd in the Slugfest. Any surprises to you there?
No. I mean, those are clearly the top 5 teams in the C in the Cincinnati area. You can put them guys in any order. It's going to be a battle for who's the best team in the C. There's no doubt about it. Any one of them 5 teams can win on any given weekend.
Yeah. I haven't decided who's number 1 yet. But I'm guessing it's one of those 5.
Now, I don't know. Are there any other C teams up in Columbus that are supposed to be juggernauts, or Dayton, or anywhere else? I don't believe there are, but could be wrong. Well, yeah, but they're a different animal. They don't count.
Days from Kentucky is obviously strong. I think.
Yeah. Clay's always got a good team. That doesn't surprise me.
I'm sure there is. We didn't run into them. We played Tiger Fitness twice. We played SMU. We played Running Rebels. We played EOS. We played this D team out of Northern Ohio / Pennsylvania. They were tough. And then we played the B team with Eddie Weinberg. Their name is escaping me, but they were tough too. So we had a lot of good games. Had a great time. I don't know if we can stretch this another 10 minutes. I'd love to get that.
Did you happen to catch Clay's live today?
I did not. What was going on there?
So apparently he was sponsoring a girls team, and they're I guess he spent $1,000 on uniforms or whatnot, and nobody showed up to get them, and they're pissed off at him because he didn't bring them to them, and it's like a 3-hour drive or something. Like, if your sponsor is willing to pay for your uniforms and you expect them to drive them to you too, something's wrong. And then I guess they didn't want TPA wear on the jerseys or something like that, so they said they were going to get it removed. Like, how are you going to tell a sponsor that you don't want their name? You want their money, but not their name on the jersey.
So I went through that a few years back as we were going through some sponsor options, and I won't name names, but Jordan will be on here in 3 minutes. Okay. One of the options they said they just wouldn't play for, and I said, "What are you talking about?" They said, "Well, if this guy sponsor, I'm not going to play." I said, "Well, then you guys want to pay out of pocket then, or like what do you like? It's not your money to say, you know, what I'm doing. Like if you want to play for my team, then you show up, I'll give you what you get, and then that's that. We're moving on. So you're not going to tell me." But yeah, I mean, I've had players try to tell me that before too. Like I'm not playing if my jersey says this. Like that's crazy to me.
Yeah, if somebody's paying for me to play softball and they tell me to wear something, I honestly don't care what it says. You're giving me something, I'm going to wear it, I'm going to play ball. And I don't have to wear it after the game, but during that game, I'm going to wear it and play as hard as I can for you and try to represent your company as best I can. But to say you're not going to play because the name's on the jersey, that's ridiculous.
I thought so. Yeah, wasn't it something else too? Oh, well, yeah. So yeah, I was trying to think of I saw part of the video, and he was talking about somebody not playing because of the name. So that must be the same topic I'm thinking of there.
Yeah, I think it was a women's team or something like that. I was at work today and kind of half listened to it and just picked up some things that stood out.
Gotcha. Let's see. Young Money. I think they're only playing One Nation. That's why they include them. But obviously, they're very strong. Finished second in the Mojo, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, really good if you can do that. I think this is the first year I've ever had a team win more than 0 games. In the Mojo, I think we usually go 0-3. So that's a tough tournament. If you're doing well in there, you're obviously got a strong team.
Yeah, I know Young Money, dues paid, guys like that. They're tough teams. I haven't got to see them play yet this year, but I've heard good things about both those teams.
Yep. Somebody just posted there are teams that would kill for a sponsor like that. Absolutely. To turn your nose up on sponsor, like unless it's just drug money or something crazy, like that'd be the only thing I could think of. But
yeah, we dealt with that a little bit last year, where guys were a little leery about where the money was coming from. But I'm trying to tell them, if the guy gives me cash, who cares where it comes from?
Yeah. The hoopla on tripods versus OTF. Was there something going on there?
There was a minor discussion, but yeah, it's not going to be good for anybody to get to discuss that one. It was both teams were at fault. We got it resolved. Everything's good and fine. Nothing to see there.
A little animated.
It got a little animated, but cooler heads prevailed, and everything's fine now.
And there he is, driving home from golf.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, buddy?
Appreciate you waiting on me. Sorry, I got a little late jump here.
What'd you shoot?
It's not important. No, not too bad, not too bad. But again, thanks for having me on, guys. And sorry, I held the group up a little bit. Hopefully, you found enough to talk about while I was gone.
Oh, I did awful, but I'm glad you're here now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So now that you're on, why don't you tell us your side of what happened? And I'll kind of give you what I would have done in that situation.
Sure. So first, I do want to say I was golfing, so I was not on when Nikki was on. So I'm not sure what's been said already or not said. So I actually worked Saturday morning. I missed our first 2 games. Drove to the park, and first thing that I heard was, hey, we lost to EOS 7-4. Show up, kind of find out that a kind of little different situation came down. I was on my way. We had another guy on the way. We had a guy who had to leave. I want to say it left us with 10 guys, 2 of which being pitchers. So we took the forfeit. We made that decision. Obviously, it was the wrong decision. I can't speak for Collins on his method to the madness or what he was trying to do there. Only thing I can kind of want to say on it is, I heard, and I'm not going to drop team names or anything because it's not about that. I heard some teams were batting left-handed. I heard some teams were dropping balls, letting ground balls go through just to kind of kick it away to make sure they got down to their correct division. To me, that's just as bad and not what I wanted to do either. So it sounds like we took the forfeit route instead of that route.
So why did you guys want to get to the D division so bad? That was probably the biggest question that I got throughout the day.
Sure. So we did know going in that the highest finishing lower team received, I want to say the package was $500. We also had knowledge that the highest winning the D bracket, you obviously won significantly more. I don't know that exact number. I want to say it was $850 or $900. We thought that we had a really good chance and a really good team to compete in our division in the D, and wanted to kind of go for the bigger prize package to kind of just help us out going forward with the team.
Okay, Nikki mentioned that Steve was going to match the prize package, so it would have been the same either way. Were you guys aware of that?
I did hear about that after the fact. I don't know if all of us were aware of that during. Mm-hmm. At the same time, the whole time we've been with Steve, the main goal is not even so much financially, because he's one of the best sponsors in the city, as everybody knows. It was just as important to us to be able to hang some hardware in his drive-through. We thought that our best chance to do that was, getting down to the D and playing our division. I've seen rumbles that, we didn't want to play C teams. We didn't want to stay and compete. And that really wasn't the case, or we would have just kicked it against SMU. We walked that game off in the 8th inning. So I don't think that it had anything to do with the C teams being around or not feeling that we belonged or wanted to stay there, as much as it was just wanting to go after the better package, per se, for our team.
And what was the difference again? Was it $250 difference?
I believe, from what I understand, it was $350, $400.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: if the prize packages were reversed, where you'd have got more to stay in the C, you think you guys would have stayed in the C?
100%, and that was even talked about. Really, with what they were offering to the lower D teams. And I do want to point out, we saw the bracket. We were matched up. If we were to somehow beat EOS, not saying we would have, we would have went up against your team Z, which one of the top C teams in the city. And at the same time, I don't know if we win that game. It wasn't really the opportunity for us to stay in the C for possibly winning the $500. There were some other good teams still. I know the 8s had a really good run. I know they beat some good teams in that. The Slugfest setup is just how lucky you get with your draw. If they would have said, hey, lowest finishing team, you'll win the same amount as you would in the D. I can't speak for Ryan Collins, but I would like to think that we would have stayed and gave everything we had against all the upper teams.
So I have a theory, and I don't know if it's correct or not. I know Ryan a little bit, but I don't know him that well. It's really hard to get a bracket like that where all the good D teams are in the bracket and you don't get to play against them. It's
sure.
Like you want that. This is one of the big tournaments where everybody's there, so you want to get in your own bracket so you can see how you match up with everybody else. I don't necessarily think it was all about a financial decision to play in the D. I want to think that it was more about, I want to see where my team stands, and I want to announce my presence with authority and say, hey, we're here, we're the top dog, come get us.
Sure, and that very well could have been the case as well. Like you said, with our team, we obviously picked up Johnny Leet. I was injured the first 2 to 3 tournaments of the year. So we were missing some key pieces. We had not really seen how we stacked up against the true D competition yet. So that very well could have been on his mind as well. But as you know, it never hurts to have more money for the team. You know, I know it was only a $350 difference, but that's a tournament. That's a room in Panama for a group of guys. You know, I don't know that's more of a question for him, but I do think, Rhino, that you probably are onto something there as well, because, you know, we didn't do well in Mojo. So to come back, I think it was more, let's compete in the D. Let's see where we stack up against our division after we just got rum-dummed up in Columbus, and kind of get the team back on track and kind of get the guys playing together and give ourselves the best opportunity to play the most games.
So hold on one second. I got music blaring in my ear. Hold on.
I think that was Celine Dion, am I right?
Yeah.
I will always love you, baby. Yeah.
I thought I was up to bat. That was my walk-up song.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, yeah, it's it's a victimless crime, is what I keep saying to myself. It's like US was good with it, you guys were good with it. Then again, a rule's a rule. So
no, absolutely. And I do want to point out that we completely understand that what happened with us being stripped of the money and the championship. You know, I'd be lying if I said I read the email with the rules that came out, but after seeing them, absolutely, that what happened to us was more than deserving. We definitely aren't mad at anybody other than, you know, ourselves. So we're not playing victim here, and we're not trying to say, oh, hey, you know, look at us. Do I think we cheated? No, I don't think we cheated. I think we were a D team that won the D tournament, and I don't want to take that away from my guys. But did we break the rules and have to live with the consequences? Absolutely, we do.
There's a little comment from Shakespeare.
Yeah. For me, it's not the fact that you guys forfeited. I mean, I would want to play in my own division too. It's just it is what it is. That's the nature of the beast. You want to play against your division. You want to play all day. You want to, hey, we're the best team. Come get us. It's the cover up is what is mind-boggling to me. Where an umpire's involved, a park manager's involved. It's like all these people are involved, and for what?
Sure, and to be honest with you, Rhino, I would say myself and probably majority of the team was not on the same page as everybody else. You know, hell, you guys have been around long enough to know when this Slugfest tournament used to be, they would come up and say, hey, you play this game, you're stuck. If you want to go to your division, head on over to West. You know, it used to be set up that way where, you know, every team would forfeit. And I think they've tried to correct that over the years to kind of break up the upper teams getting those 3 or 4 game breaks with everybody dropping down to their bracket. But, you know, to the extent of the cover up, the line, you know, I never spoke with Nikki. I never was around when Colin spoke to Nikki, the umpire, Bradney. I don't know who was told what, who was promised what, who said what. I'm reading Nate Spears' comment here, and he brings up a good point. You know, we beat EOS possibly. Then we have a tough game against one of the best C teams in the city in Flies guys. So, you know, and then we have to go play 5 games over in the D division. So, you know, I see both sides, but like I said, at the end of the day, we broke the rules and we have to live with that. And nobody on our team is playing victim.
So another issue I see is not a real issue. And I hope you don't take this the wrong way, because I like 99% of your guys, but you guys have kind of been the bullies of the D division for the last 2 years. And last year you had an unbelievable year. This year you're on track to have the same type of year. And Collins is the leader of your team, so he's viewed as the big bad bully. And when he tries to get away with something, I think people take it and snowball it more than it actually is.
Sure. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that Ryan Collins was one of the most likable guys around the ballpark. Hell, half our team doesn't even like the bastard. But but no, you're absolutely right. We have had a lot of success the last couple years. I'd like to think we are set up for the same kind of run. Again, I haven't really gone to Collins and said, "Hey, man, like, what the hell were you thinking here?" As much as he's always been a coach that wants to put his team in the best possible situation to succeed. I think he did that. Was it the wrong way? Yes. But I think in the moment he was trying to look out for us, being a little shorthanded, had some guys rushing there from work, had some guys in and out. I think at the time he thought that it was the best decision that he could do. Like I said, I don't think we knew the extent of what all had to take place to kind of, because after that game, when we went over to West, it was the last we talked about it, heard about it. Nobody said a word about it until maybe when I think we saw a social media post Sunday, and it was like, oh, like, it's still kind of being talked about. And then obviously, as everybody knows, it's kind of escalated over the last couple days.
Yeah, I know when we were playing, we had no idea what was going on. We looked at the brackets, all you guys were in it, assumed you lost, and went on with it.
Sure.
So I'm going to talk about how good. I know Johnny Leap was MVP this weekend. How good was he?
Johnny Leap is a game changer, man. He really is. In my opinion, he's not just one of the best pitchers in D. He's one of the best pitchers I've seen in the city. Rhino, I believe he's been your teammate a handful of times over the last 5-10 years. I don't want to show your age on here, but you guys used to have some good runs in the SVC, and I think he even played with your team last year.
He played one weekend. That's a sore subject.
Okay, my bad.
I still really haven't gotten over that, and probably never will. But hey, it is what it is. I wish him nothing but the best. But yeah, I've won a lot of tournaments with Johnny on the mound with 4 Blue and SBC and stuff like that. So Johnny's a great player, no doubt about it.
He's good, man. He's a leader. He obviously makes our team that much better. Definitely grateful that he did come choose to play with us. Picking him up, I think that we are kind of trying to gear more towards the world tournaments where maybe teams of our level struggle a little bit against some of the out of town teams. I think he definitely puts us in that mix along with the offense and defense that our team has. So Johnny was a great pickup, man. And as you know, he's one of the best to do it. He's one of the best around, and glad he's on my side and I don't have to face him anymore.
Yeah, I had him for a little bit, and his pitches really move, and he controls the game. He's a hell of a pitcher. Yeah.
So who else made all tournament team for you?
I believe it was Greg Foligno plays third base and really hit it well for us. I believe we had Jalen Clark, probably one of the more underrated outfielders in the D division. The kid's solid.
Wilbur's listed him off, Kyle. Or did he freeze? I thought he was in deep thought.
I thought he was in deep thought as well. Yeah, I think Kyle Buchanan might have been alternate team. I think Jordan made alternate team as well. So I'm not positive on that.
Greg, whoever Greg is.
I think that's Greg Foligno.
And then Drew.
I don't know who that is.
Okay. Congrats to Drew, Greg, and Kyle. Maybe Jordan. Maybe he's
Somebody,
still working. I don't know.
Somebody needs to take a screenshot of this and make a meme out of it or something.
Oh, okay. Drew Farley. Okay.
So did anybody I didn't look at the bracket. Did anybody test them in the D division? Did they have any close games?
I'm sure they did. Unfortunately, I think I closed it down. Maybe not. Oh, no, I still got it. Let me put it back up. There we go. All right, D division. Where we at? Steve's. They won 15-7 against Wild Things. 2019 against Hoodstar Sportswear. So obviously close game there. 21-6 against Players. And then 19-4 against Domination. And then 18-8 Domination again.
So they had a couple competitive games. Other than that, they dominated. Which, I mean, they're arguably the best team in the D division in the city. So I wouldn't expect anything less out of them.
Then Nate said Steve should sponsor JT's phone service.
So I guess I don't know whether Steve pulled his money. I think Patrick posted that Steve's no longer affiliated with them, but I guess they've already got a new name change and new sponsor and things like that, so they're going to be fine.
Yep.
Sorry about that, fellas. Did I make it back?
Yeah. We thought you were deep thought. We waited for like 30 seconds. True story.
I got a little gun shy. I thought I got kicked out of this one too. But no, just to wrap up, I did hear you guys. It was Kyle Buchanan who actually left our team for a minute. Came back because we were going to be shorthanded this weekend and really played lights out, man. So can't say enough about him either. Kind of hopped back in when we were talking about the Steve stuff. So if you have any questions there, I don't mind that as well.
Yeah, what's going on?
So I guess just ripping the Band-Aid off. So we decided it was best for Steve, and Steve decided it was best if he was no longer affiliated with the team. Completely understand and support his decision for that. We did change the team name, and we have dropped the Steve's name completely, or Steve has removed his name from the team completely.
Now, do you have to re-sanction, or do you keep the points? How does that work?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if we just pay to do a name change since the roster stayed the same, or I'm not sure. I don't know if we've gotten that far yet. We actually just chose a team name a few hours ago, so I don't know if because it's same roster we keep all the points and just the name changes, or to be honest, we really don't have a ton after going 0-3 this past weekend. So I don't know if a restart's all that bad.
I can answer that one. Bradney can change it. I just changed mine because Bordeaux gave us some jerseys, so I had to add Birdman Creations to the back of our name. So it's not that hard. You just got to get Bradney to do it.
Cool.
Gotcha.
So that's unfortunate, but it sounds like you guys are going to be all right. So I'm sure we'll see make a good run at Worlds and everything.
Sure, and like I said, there's no hard feelings there. I think that was just the best situation for him. I'm sure him of all people have received the most messages about everything going on. So can't say I blame him. He's a normal guy just like us, and I think he'd rather his day get blown up with stuff for work and the real life stuff as opposed to slow pitch softball.
Yeah, I'm sure he stays busy with his businesses there.
Right.
Alrighty. Anything else, guys, before we wrap it up here?
Well, I know you guys are both UC fans like myself, so it feels really weird being down here rooting against the Bearcats. So.
Oh, yeah. Don't do it, Rhino. Don't do it.
Got to, man. Devin Taylor's the right fielder for Indiana Hoosiers. He's like family, man, so I got to blood over the Bearcats, I guess.
Understood, man. Understood.
Now, if he played football for Indiana or basketball for Indiana, it'd be a different story. But
I didn't even know you had a football team.
Yeah.
We stopped up there a couple years back. All right, guys.
But yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for having me, and thanks for. I'm sure we answered the questions the people wanted to see. So hopefully you got some good views and get some ads or sponsorships out of this.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Now, are you guys taking the weekend off, or are you playing somewhere?
No, we're off this weekend. We don't do any WSL. I believe we're trying to get in something the following week, but I'm not sure. Is the next GSL tournament, is that state early May, or what are we looking at there?
Yep. So this weekend's Ironman. There's another WSL tournament the following weekend, and then GSL state will be the weekend after that, May 6th.
Cool. I'd say that's probably when we're kind of getting back at it then.
Yep. Sounds good. I'm sure we'll see you out there.
Yeah, and good luck to your guys' teams, man. You both got hell of good squads, and Rhino, I know we haven't got the battle yet, but I look forward to it, brother.
I'm sure it'll be a good one.
All right, boys. See you later. Thanks for coming on.
All right. See you
Thanks,
guys.
See you.